Queendom. This is Carla Lizardo here with Pia Wurtzbach and Bianca Guedotti, and this is another episode of Queentuhan. Hi everyone! How are you tonight? Kamusta Mar? Kamusta P? Mar muna.
Hi. Hi. Oh hi guys. I'm doing really good. Actually, I'm getting married this Sunday.
Sobrang
I've been super busy.
Oh my gosh, Mar,
Thank
you're
you,
gonna be
thank
such a
you.
beautiful bride. We're so excited. And dahil next episode, kasal ka na nun, ngayon pa lang, we're wishing you good luck and sana makapunta ka. But, no, it's okay because I know like we have time to celebrate in the future. So I'm super excited about this episode because we've been wanting to do this for a while now. Pia is going to join us in a bit. Pero I just want to remind everyone, please check out our previous episodes on Spotify. We are a podcast. We started out as a podcast and we are a podcast. So all our episodes are on Spotify. And of course, you can also catch the last episodes on the Tripod Network Facebook page. Pati na rin sa YouTube ni Pia. Kanina, sobrang grabe, ang dami nang nagko-comment. Sunod-sunod. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. And before we get this episode started, we had our contest last episode where we had the Plantita episode. Yes. So we just want to say congratulations to our winner, who is Mar.
Our winner for last week's Queentuhan is Enzo, thank you so much. Congratulations. You win pretty vases from Glask for your plant baby. So, thank you so much, Enzo. Actually, ang ganda ng mga photos mo. Super effort ka. And full-on plantito ka, certified. We must say. So, thanks for joining the fanfare.
Ay, tsaka ang gaganda ng mga plants niya, ha? As in, you can tell the passion from the photos. So, congratulations, Enzo. We will reach out at the end of the episode to get your details so that you can get your special prizes from Glesk. Anyway, let's move on to our royal roll call. Binibilisan ko kasi marami tayong mga special guests tonight.
Yeah.
Mar, start off our royal roll call.
Yeah, so of course, we want to say hi to Vienne, Niavera, Jason Paul, and Kenneth Sanchez.
Finally.
Hello.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Thanks, guys. I'm so sorry. This is how I know I'm back home. I'm back home because it's a slow internet.
So, Ma'am,
sorry. Nasaan na tayo? What did I miss?
Nasa royal roll call na tayo. So, ako na. Okay, so hi to Julius Mina, Princess Villaluna, Joey Albos, and Chiclet Fraser. Happy birthday, Chiclet! Celebrating your birthday today.
Happy
birthday! I also want to say hi to Rowan Santa Maria, to Pretty May Bandril, and Christian Philip. And also a big shout out to everyone watching on YouTube and Facebook. We are live right now. That's why we're getting technical difficulties here and there.
It's part of it. The Ashleys are also here. Hi, Ashleys. Ashley Bessie, Ashley Mock. I don't know if I missed anyone else. But hello, thank you so much for joining us. Today's show is different from our usual episodes because you, the Queendom, are our guests for tonight. So like I mentioned earlier, ang tagal na namin tong pinag-uusapan. We've been wanting to do it, so we will be answering some of the questions that were sent in. Pero we also chose some members of the Queendom to be part of our show live to be able to ask their questions. Yay! So eto na, our online family. Actually, ginawa namin, yung online wheel of names to choose. Kaya ang gaganda ng mga tanong. So sana masagot namin as much as possible sa mga tanong na pinadala nyo. Anyway, let's bring in our first member of the Queendom, Rowan. Rowan Santa Maria is here with us tonight, all the way from France. Hello, Rowan.
Bonjour from France, and bonsoir to Manila, and congratulations, Queen Bianca, and good luck.
Thank you, Rowan. Thank you so much. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Alam mo ba, nang nagkukwentuhan kami kanina before the show, Rowan actually had to make paalam from class to join us. hinatak natin
Wow!
siya. So, thank you so much.
Ganun
No,
kami
thank you very
kalaki.
much.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much for inviting me, guys. It means quite a lot.
Okay,
Well, we're
Rowan,
happy to get to talk to you.
Nakalig.
yeah,
No, thank
actually,
you
Rowan
din.
had, sorry, go ahead.
No, 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 go ahead. No, mag-thank you lang ako kasi syempre may time difference din, di ba?
Mm.
Yes. Oo nga. Anyway, so each of the live guests will have time to ask 3 questions. So, Rowan, take it away.
Okay, cool.
Let me just bring up the questions. Hala, nawala.
Kinakabahan ako.
Paano yan?
Hindi, okay lang, okay lang. It's the questions that you asked or whatever comes to mind now.
Oh, okay. Shall we start with a bit easier? Because okay,
Sure.
let's start a bit more easy. All of us in the Queendom are very curious. How is it like to run a podcast? What are the different things, the logistics you have to think about, and of course you mentioned the technical difficulties. So, what do you do? What are the things that happen behind the scenes in preparation for each podcast?
Si Carla may alam niyan kasi siya lahat gumagawa.
Okay, so we started out as a podcast. So the 3 of us, we recorded episode 1 and 2 together in a studio with Tripod Network. But then, nangyari na agad yung pandemic. So we didn't want it to end there kasi sobrang nag-enjoy kami. So we decided to do it in this format, the Facebook Live format. And what happens is, we do the show every Tuesday. And then after, we have a meeting kung sino yung gusto naming guest for the next week. And then
Yeah.
by mga Friday, I start writing the script and then I send it to them so that we have a clear flow of who's gonna say what. And then si Mar, she's the one in charge of social media. So we try to announce our guest by Sunday para there's more time for people to kind of block off their schedules. Si Pia naman, she's the guest coordinator. So whoever we want, we will reach out and then DM them to be able to get them on the show. So
Kasi
pretty
alam
much yun yung
namin.
mga roles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kasi alam namin, kung si Pia yung magme-message, malamang yes na yan.
Yeah.
So,
And then and then we're online, like you were with us earlier, around an hour before, and then we just talk. It's super chill and it's a fun project that we can do
Legit.
together.
And honestly, we take a look at the Queendom at your suggestions when we're thinking about our next guest. Kasi gusto talaga
Yes.
namin makita kung what you guys are waiting for. And syempre pinapadali rin niyo yung buhay namin. Kasi at least we know happy kayo kung, if we get the one that you guys are suggesting. So yeah. Collaborative work to between all of us, not just the 3 of us, but also to the Queendom. So we're so thankful for you guys. Oh my God, I'm so excited for today.
So speaking of the Queendom, so Queentuhan has touched on a wide range of audiences and topics within the PH and abroad, myself included. So what are the most fascinating findings or lessons you've learned that contributed to your understanding of the community that you have created? Because it's truly a community.
Guys.
I'm sorry kung loaded.
No. It's okay. It's okay. P, your thoughts.
Well, I learned that there's really still so much to learn from our side, even though we've competed like 5 or so years ago already. We realized that we are still pageant girls even after so many years. But then we also acknowledge like the progress of it, yung parang how it's changed over time. There's also a lot more, I guess, when you're not in competition anymore. There's more wisdom. Parang you kind of can talk about it from a different point of view now because there's no more pressure. And then you're really generous with your advice kasi parang you're done. You're done with your time anyway. So that's what I find it fun. Like I always love sharing what we learn, like what Marian and Carla and I learned, what we learned before. What I love also learning from the new girls, like the new candidates from the Navini and Universe Philippines. I also love hearing from them and even past queens. I guess we're all kind of binded. Kahit naman na iba-ibang year kami nag-compete and we're not competing anymore, we're still kind of binded by that. It's cheesy, but it's true. It's a sisterhood. It's,
Definitely. I would
you know?
super agree ako
Yeah.
dyan. That's why, especially, di ba, we have other queens on our show. And minsan, it's not like we've ever met them in person before. But it feels like we've known each other for a long time because of the shared experience of it, you know? There are certain things kasi na pinagdadaanan ng mga beauty queen na minsan kami-kami lang yung nahagets, both the good and the bad, di ba? So, and sobrang dami yung sasabi ni P kasi iba rin kasi yung mindset mo when you're like in competition. So after it, parang nakikita mo na in a different perspective, medyo bird's eye view, your emotions are not so, you know,
Invested.
entangled. Yeah, entangled in it.
And tangled.
Exactly. So you can see things more objectively. And I guess the reason why we are so excited to kind of like, share certain quote unquote wisdoms, but not really. Like, really, it's just learnings, things that we learned along the way. Because parang we would have appreciated if someone in that position, who's, a little bit more on the outside, to tell us the objective truths. Like, oh, ikaw girl, ganito ka. Ano ba yung best dapat? No, wag ka ma-offend. This is the...
Yep.
Tsaka, I guess, we saw what like we survived the other side of the tunnel, and in a sense, all the hardship, all the mental, the mental kind of breakdowns, I guess, the emotional part of it. At least masasabi namin sa kanila na, yeah, we get it. It can be very emotional. It can rip into you, and that's okay. And we're here on the other side of that tunnel saying, it's okay, kaya mo yan, and we are all gonna just grow better from the experiences. And we understand the negatives of the pageant, but also, may positive din, and tayo din yung, we are responsible for keeping it in the positive, Wag natin idala sa negative yung pageantry. It's all of us,
Well,
It's the organizers, the candidates, the fans. It's our
Yeah.
responsibility.
And speaking of it being all of us, sobrang important rin ng Queendom for us. We didn't have it ng season 1, and then we said, how do we reach out and paano ba mako-combine yung media, yung queens? Kasi may barriers tayo for the longest time. So that's really the goal, parang to put everyone in pageantry into one group so that we can all have good communication with each other. We get to know each other. So we're really happy that the community happened. I would say that it's really the most important part of the show so far.
May I add to what you said, Queen Carla?
Go ahead.
So the reason why, because I don't usually follow such groups or such groups like the Queendom. It's my first time joining such community, but I really appreciate it, and I found a difference because it really taught me and reminded me what it means to be a Filipino. As someone who's lived abroad for quite a while, it really gives the reminders of, oh yes, we have this community. There's a place where you can feel heard. And I really want to thank you guys for giving us that platform and for providing a safe space for a lot of people as well in any topic.
That really means a lot. We're happy that the Queendom is that
amazing.
space for you.
No, tsaka, grabe, going into it, syempre we had the best intentions. Yeah, let's create a community and everything. Pero kayo talaga, you guys make it what it is right now.
Yeah.
And we're so blessed and thankful na, napaka-sincere ng mga topics natin. You guys really bring a positive attitude to our group, and we learn a lot and we interact very well. And thank you grabe, way outside of anything we expected. Grabe. So yes, thank you. Amazing.
And for those who aren't in the Queendom yet, please join. Hindi sa alta-atahan mga queens. They're very, masarap ang kulitan nila. I love it. And I got to see it firsthand. So ang sarap talaga. And so this leads to my final question as well. When do fans become friends, in your perspective?
Sorry, go ahead, Mar.
Ayun, ako, there is no line. Fans are fans. Kasi para sa akin, first time ko sumali ng pageant, wala akong idea about, how the fan base, the pageant fan base was here in the Philippines. Hindi ako pageant girl before, wala akong idea. So, it was so overwhelming when I started to experience the full support of the Filipino pageant community. They really, really, look at you and they appreciate you. And just that, para sa akin, friends na kayo, like, that support that you give us, only friends can do that for us. The belief, you believing in us even from the beginning. Para sa akin, fans is just it's just a name that we put, that society put. But for me, it's so much more than that. It's support, it's love, it's kaya ang hirap-hirap din ng responsibility to be able to show our supporters na we appreciate them so much. Kasi wala talaga, we wouldn't really, kayo rin yung lakas ng loob namin most of the time. Sa totoo lang. So, that line, para sa akin, wala. All my supporters, I consider all my friends. Thank you.
Ikaw, P.
Ano yung question ulit? Kasi napuputol siya kanina, so hindi ko siya actually narinig.
Ayan, go.
So, when does the line cross from being fans to being friends?
Actually, I am not comfortable in calling them fans. Like, I always call them supporters, or parang, or they're like more like friends. Kasi ako parang parang yung, I mean, maybe it's just me, but hindi naman parang mas angat ako. Tapos, alam mo yun, hindi ganun yung feeling eh. Kasi wala namang magiging ikaw kung wala sila. Diba?
Yeah.
And then for people to really take time and support you and support everything that you're doing, na abangan nila lahat ng mga projects mo at yung mga podcast mo at yung mga bagong episode, parang, they're not paid to do that, but they do it anyway because they relate to you and they believe in you and they connect to you. So parang, ako, there is not really a line. I have a lot of supporters before who are now my full friends, like trusted friends. Na like I can share secrets with. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
parang minsan naman kasi it starts like that. You meet somebody who supported you during a pageant, for example, and then doesn't mean na parang forever ka nang mas mataas sa kanila. Hindi naman ganun yun. Yung parang that's just how you connected, but you can still be friends anyway. It's just that ako parang that's why I also love this community, the Queendom, and sa personal ko naman is I'm really also close to the Pianatics kasi parang they're people. They're not just they're not just fans. They're people who believe in you. So I see it like differently. Parang hindi siya sa akin na parang hindi sila faceless and nameless to me. Like, they're people. You know what I mean?
I agree. It's the same with me. Like, it makes me really happy. I always say, like, sa PBA, just approach me. Like, I would love to talk to you. Tapos pag nagkakaroon na talaga ng, like, nagkukwentuhan talaga. And that's actually one of the reasons why I also do my video game streaming. Kasi the people who watch me, it's like may direct contact kami dun eh. And like, I love hearing about their lives, the stories. And I agree, like, the pagiging fan is maybe just a means of how you initially interact. But then, as soon as we get to connect, like, that's it. We're friends.
So on that note, thank you very much for making us feel the love, appreciation, support, and respect from all members of the Queendom. Merci beaucoup. Maraming salamat po. And I wish you guys a good evening.
Thank you, Rowan.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Hope to talk to you guys again soon.
Yes, thank you so much.
Love.
Next up, let's bring in Mother Gerald. Mama Gerald, who's always here. Hello.
Mama Gerald! Ay, ang pa-internet ni Mama Gerald. Parang ako lang dati, di ba guys?
trying. We don't
Yeah.
give up that
Trying.
easy.
Anyway,
We never give up, or else wala na ako dito sa Queentuhan.
I'm looking at
Okay.
the chat. There are a lot of Pianatics in the house. Sabi ni
Oh,
Sophia, Rowan,
hi.
you're a great interviewer. And actually, Rowan is. Feeling ko siya yung nag-host ng Q&A.
Oo,
Yun
true.
nga.
Ang ganda rin kasi ng
Should,
boses niya.
Ganda. Nina-appreciate
yeah.
ako parang, wow, pro siya. Kailangan pro din ako.
Oo. True.
While we're still having trouble with the internet, should we bring in our next guest?
Yes.
You want to try? Okay, so we also have Jeff here with us. Jeff.
Hello, good
Yeah,
evening,
Jeff.
Queens.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi, Jeffrey!
Good evening.
good evening. Actually, with the last point, actually, I met Carla in an event. That,
Wow!
Yeah. Wow!
Nagkakilala
yeah,
kami sa coverage. I was super
Nice.
sleepy because it was an all-nighter, and then Jeff gave me food, and I was like, "We're gonna be friends forever."
That's the way to her heart, Jeff.
Sakto
yeah,
yung
I
ginawa
know.
mo yun. Sakto yun.
That's the way
Grabe.
to her heart.
Yeah,
Actually,
that was
all
an
of
all-nighter, yeah. I think so. Miss Trixie said earlier to talk about myself, so I'm gonna talk about
Yes,
myself a
please.
bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell us who you
Go.
are, Jeffrey.
Introduce yourself.
Share us. Yeah.
Oh, so I'm Jeff. I actually work in 7-Eleven.
Wow,
Then
okay.
yeah, then also I have a small business. It's actually for my doctorate degree soon enough. Yeah, I'm currently holding a master's degree in marketing. Then my small business is actually for cookies. It's named Homemade by Eve. It's named after my mom, so not my girlfriend, so my mom.
Hinanap ko. Actually,
Priorities.
I have them in my
Yeah.
house. Pero,
Yeah,
nandito
actually
siya usually, pero
yeah, I
they
actually
cleaned
sent
it.
some to Carla, but we'll talk off screen. I'll send you some. If your diet permits though. You still have the wedding, so maybe next week after the wedding.
Walang
She does,
diet-diet.
I don't think she cares.
Walang diet. Sure, I'll talk to you off cam na lang. So
Sige.
so they won't see how much we can make for you.
how much we can eat.
Yeah, that's between us. Then so for my first question, it would be actually what point during the competition do you feel most at ease and most stressed and you cannot answer after the competition?
And would we change our answer?
No. At what point in the competition did you feel most at ease
And
and most
most.
stressed?
Okay.
Okay.
Ako, I felt most at ease every time we would have these really long waiting times. Kasi usually we would be there in the morning, tapos magsa-start yung event afternoon. Tapos nakatambay lang kaming tatlo. Definitely, those are the times that I felt most at ease during Binibini. Sobrang stress ko leading up to the competition, specifically the part where they didn't want to let us bring our makeup. So I had to
yeah.
we had to hide
Remember
the
that.
makeup brushes and everything, or palettes inside our clothes. Yun, sobrang stress ko kasi parang I felt like it was out of my control. And then it was the biggest night. Tapos wala pa kaming kain and everything. So yeah, top of mind. Yun yung moments ko. Mar.
Okay, for me, I guess I felt most stressed. Siguro 2 points of the competition. The screening for the candidates, and of course, the few weeks leading up to finals night. Yun talaga yung pinaka-stressful for me. Of course, ako, I knew nothing about pageants. It was my first time doing the screening. It was my first time to train. So, grabe yung stress levels ko noon. I felt so fat. I felt like, grabe, intense. So, that was so stressful. Pero iba rin yung stress nung nasa competition ka na. In terms of leading up to the finals night. Yung pinaka-at ease ako, for some reason, is yun nga, in the middle of the competition, once the competition started already, and then leading up to the final night. Kasi, ang busy namin eh. There are a lot of events that we have to do, and then we're getting to know each other, we're getting to know ourselves. Of course, may mga stressful moments here and there then. Pero, it was really more about being in the moment at that time. Just showing, making friends, just showing the people around you who you are. This is just the time that we get to meet fans then in events where, you get to talk to them and all of that. So ako, nag-enjoy talaga ako doon. I really like interacting with people din kasi. So that part kasi is the easy part for me. But then, pag nandiyan na ulit yung being on stage, having to give the perfect walk, and then having to answer the final Q&A question, yan talaga super stressful, especially since I've never done that in my whole life ever. So, that was really crazy. But, at the end, pero yeah, definitely yung makeup, that whole makeup thing, there's just so many things out of our control eh. But then, I'm also pretty easygoing. So I'm like, okay lang, tago ko dito yung mga makeup ko, yung kaya ko itago. Tapos,
Yeah,
pumunta ko sa
ako kasi
ilalim ng
sobrang
table.
high-strung ko. I'm super high-strung. Like, I stress out easily. Ikaw, P, what are your moments?
The most stressful, okay, the easiest, where I was most at ease was every time after, not after the competition, but after events. So after, Parade of Beauties, relax ako kasi tapos na yung big event. After preliminary, after a swimsuit photo shoot, every time there's a big moment or a big event, right after, I feel at ease, and I always reward myself with a meal. It is just bad. That's why I would never look like I was ready. I always rewarded myself. And then also, the most stressful for me is waiting for the announcement during the final night. When you are waiting for yung top 15 na, o kaya when you're waiting to be called for winners na ng binibini, tapos runner-up muna, tapos crowns na, alam mo yung feeling? Weird talaga, guys. As in, sobrang nakaka-stress. Kasi di ba sa una, ang weird kasi nung una, gusto mo syempre matawag ka. Pero pag yung finals na, you're praying na, wag muna. Pag yung crowns na, wag muna. Ganon.
P question. May question ako, P. So, hindi ka talaga
go.
bumitaw? Hindi ka bumitaw? Kasi ako bumitaw ako eh. Nung nagtatawag na ng Miss Supra, Miss blah blah, sabi ko, wait, sige, tawagin niyo na yung pangalan ko. Okay lang.
Actually, eto, real talk. Nung international na, hinahanap na kita. Kasi ikaw yung magpapass nun ikaw nagpass nun kay Janicel, di ba? Pero hinahanap na kita. Kasi at that point, I was thinking, naku, marami pa kami, tas 2 crown na lang. Sabi ko, Maria, nasan ka na? Parang, hindi. Pero, like, kasi sa kaba mo parang alam mo, 2 na lang, tapos iniisip mo, what are the odds? So, parang, wala, pababa yung chances ko. So, gusto ko nang matawag. Di ba?
So, nagmamat na pala si Queen P during the last two.
The last two,
pero talagang nag-ano siya.
Ano yung odds nito?
Oo, kaya tinitingnan ako gano'n. Pero hindi kita makita eh. I didn't see you. Actually, I couldn't find you. I think you were backstage. Pero usually kasi the one who passes the crown is already kind of on standby sa side. Kasi everything happened so fast. So I was looking for you. And it would have been cool, no, if you crowned me and we're friends. Like, parang, I wonder what kind of moment that would have been. Parang,
One voice tayo naman.
So, akit rin ako. Charot. Nakisali. Had a Kanye moment.
Pero wala, panahon na yun, hindi mo ako nakita nun kasi nagtatago ako. Kasi sabi ko, wait, hindi pa kay Pia. Ano, ba't ka tumitingin sa akin, P? Hindi sa'yo to. Next ka pa. Ano ka ba? Chos.
Most probably you were looking for food though, Miss Bianca.
For food. The cookie.
Medyo totoo. Now that I think about it.
Next question.
Next question. Actually, Queen P kind of hit the question. It's if you had a time machine, would you choose to go back and do anything differently during any of your competitions?
Would
Yes.
I go back?
Would you
To
do
the
anything
competition.
differently?
Oh, kayo muna guys. I want to hear
Ako,
that.
yes. Mabilis lang yun sa akin. Yes, my styling, because I didn't know what looked good on me, and I wish I did, and I wish, like, kung anong alam ko now and how I fix myself now, I wish that's how I look during the pageant. Kasi pag tinitingnan ko talaga yung pictures ko noon, parang, anong ginagawa mo, girl? Kasi nga parang takot ako mag-experiment. So upo na lang ako doon, tapos kung ano na lang yung ano, kahit na hindi tapos yung makeup, lalabas ako sa stage, unacceptable. That's what I would change.
Styling.
Grabe. Totoo yan.
Styling,
Totoo yan.
styling.
For me, if I had a time machine, I guess what would I change? Honestly, lagi ko ito sinasabi na parang, alam mo, sana I started doing pageants earlier kasi ang saya niya. Like, I was only able to do it twice, but I really hope that I wish sana na I started like in school or I tried other pageants also. Kasi nakikita ko rin yung growth ng mga ibang girls. The girls that you were able to join different pageants, parang they really knew what they were doing, and I feel like I needed more of that experience as well in my own time. But also, I really, again, this is another tip I always tell the girls, please look inwards. Sa pageant talaga, you have to look inside and you really have to get to know yourself a lot. And then you have to do a lot of decisions on how to represent yourself. And it has to be, yung mga conscious, ano siya eh, deliberate decisions and actions that you have to do. Na ako, when I think about it, I was not experienced enough, I was not mature enough to make those steps that I wish I had. So, yeah. Be deliberate, know yourself. I wish I did that.
P.
I would try, same as Mar, I would try to join more pageants. I would want to experience joining all. all!
Wow.
I wanna experience Miss Earth. Like, I wanna see, kaya ko kaya doon. I wanna see if I can make it into Miss World Philippines. That was a pageant. Just one crown. Imagine that. Everyone's competing for one crown. That's hard. So parang, gusto ko sanang, inikot. Parang, I probably will not. I don't regret Binibini, of course not.
Yes.
But I would have wanted to start. I would have wanted to start earlier.
Tama.
Same.
So Queen P wanted to run the circuit.
Tapos
Everything.
Lahat. Panalunan lahat.
Okay,
Hindi,
for my
hindi
final...
naman paano sa lahat. Okay lang din.
Yeah.
It's an experience. The experience. Hindi, okay lang yun na kasi at least you can, you always know na parang, oh, I've tried. And then, wala. Isip ko lang. It would have been fun.
Tama.
It would have been fun to represent different places too.
That's
You know? Right?
Totoo.
Wala lang.
Yun lang.
Ginawa ko siya. So, yeah.
Minsan kayo yung di oras ate. Anyway, sorry guys.
It would have been fun to watch you go through that though.
Oo, no.
Everything.
Oh.
So, the last one actually, si Queen P gusto niya lahat. So, what pushed you to pursue pageantry knowing that the pressure and stress during the competition is immense?
Ako hindi ko
I
inisip
actually
yung
was not
pressure and stress. I was like, YOLO! Magpa-pageant ako! Bahala na!
Yeah.
Knowing
Tapos-
Carla, I think she would have really said that though.
Yeah. Tapos pagdating ko doon, parang, wala, parang gusto ko lang i-try. Parang yung ginawa ni P. Kasi I joined Mutya, I joined Miss World, I joined Binibini. Parang ayoko lang mag-regret na, parang 22, 24 na ako, baka mag-26 ako, baka pagsisihan ko na hindi ako nagbinibini. So I just kept going for it.
Tama.
Sorry, P, I cut you off.
Yeah.
Go.
No. Go ahead.
Hindi, yun na yung sagot ko. Go lang.
Ay, okay. I wasn't told that the pressure was intense. Hindi ako nasabihan. So, hindi ako actually naging prepared dun sa part na yun. Ano lang ako, I was happy that my trainers at that time saw potential in me and they thought that I could I never thought I could win, but the fact that they thought that I could win or compete, parang it was a big boost for my confidence kasi I didn't really believe in myself, and I also just came out of a bad breakup at that time. So parang lost ako. Tapos it was only until I was there that I realized, whoa, this is an intense community. Like, grabe, grabe, parang grabe yung it can be so cutthroat, but you can also feel so empowered by the love of the supporters. Parang all these emotions.
Totoo.
Yeah.
But of course, the good always overcomes the bad naman when you weigh
Yeah.
things. So you don't think of ayoko kasing mabash so hindi na ako sasali. Di ba? Hindi naman. Hindi naman natapos ko din. What about you, Mark?
For me, okay, parehas kami ni P, hindi kami na-inform. Di rin ako na-inform sa stress. And
Walang
pressure na
na-inform.
ako. I did not anticipate that at all. It was really, I think I've said the story multiple times, but yeah, it was my mom. So, I came in kind of just like a bit curious. Honestly, syempre, I had a bit of an interest for it already. Kasi patangkad ako eh, patangkad ako. So, bata pa lang ako, ang dami na nagsasabi sa akin na, uy, pang Miss Universe ka, uy, gusto mo ba tayo ng Binibining Pilipinas? Uy, beauty queen ka ba? Ganun, ganun. So, it's always been something na kina-float sa akin, pero never really thought about it. Never really had interest in it until my mom kind of like, medyo nabudol ako ng nanay ko to do it. Parang, ano? Magta-training na ako? Ha? Nasaan ba na yung picture ko? Okay.
Nasubmit na mo yung picture mo!
Okay! May training? Okay. So, medyo nabudol ako ng nanay ko doon. Kasi, she met a friend. But, anyways, because I think she kind of had a dream for me too. Although my mom kasi she's not the type to be like, anak, gusto ko pag... She's not like that. But, gumagalaw-galaw na lang yan, tapos may ipit na lang ako, trust, di naman. But it came to a point that...
Hindi naman, pero oo.
Pero,
Yes, but not really. What yes?
as in, it came to a point na, I think a week before pageant night, I was at my thinnest, I was at my most stressed. My mom really came to me and she said, anak, kung ayaw mo na to, okay lang. You can quit. It's fine. I don't care. So no, I was like, you know what, ma, it's fine. I'm in it na. I'm competitive already, and I feel like I might be able to do this. So push, push, push. So at the end, I was so thankful that I did that. Because if left to my own devices, I don't think I would have done it on my own. And I'm so grateful and so appreciative of the world and the people that opened up to me because I joined Binibining Pilipinas. So yeah, there's stress, there's pressure, there's self-doubt, there is, yeah, being objectified and feeling, not so good about yourself during the pageant. But I think, yeah, tama si Pia, the good kind of always outweighs the bad in that sense. Kasi, it's up to you then how you use that, how you use those experiences to make you better, to make the people around you better, to make the community better. So, yeah. Okay lang, kahit di kami na-inform, sige, okay lang. Worth it naman pala.
Laban pa rin.
Yay!
Actually,
Okay.
with the community, it's really eye-opening in our office actually. Because before I think Pia visited us, then actually I got to work with Carla. Si Miss Bianca lang ang hindi ko naka-work with pa. But soon enough. But it really shuts down our office for like half a day, honestly, when there's a pageant going on. As in, the office is in a standstill. And it's really like yung may fandom talaga. As in, Queendom nakikita talaga. And when they rally, when they have the announcements of the top 15, top 10, as in, the whole building honestly is shaking.
Oh my God!
And it's not OA. It's really real. You feel the building shake.
Saan
Nandito
building
nga yung
to?
Parang nandito nga yung office. Hi, Miss Michelle. I see you in
Oh
the
yeah, I
chat.
invited them actually. I
Yeah, they're
invited
here.
them.
Hello.
I quote unquote raided them.
We got
So I think
raided.
they're all here.
Wow, thank you so much, Jeff.
So it was
Thank you,
nice talking to you,
Jeffrey.
and let's talk about your cookies outside.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
Thank you
Thank
so
So
much, Jeff.
thank you for talking to me for about
Yes,
20
welcome.
minutes, and I'll be still on the backstage, so we can talk later.
Yes.
Yeah.
See you
Thank
later.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you, Jeff.
Try natin ulit si Mama Gerald.
Mama Gerald, I want to talk to Mama Gerald.
Yeah. Ayan. There.
Mama
Yay!
Gerald!
Nagawa ng
Okay,
paraan. Yay!
Hi!
Huwag ka ma-stress. Huwag ka ma-stress. Okay na siya. Welcome.
Hi,
How
Mama
are
Gerald.
you?
Actually, sobrang stress na, kaya dulas na ako dahil sobrang dami naming gadgets ngayon dito na naka-login sa wifi. Naiyak tuloy ako.
No, huwag ka
Hindi.
umiyak.
Kuya.
We have time. We have time.
Don't
Ano,
worry.
when I did the wheel thing, sobrang happy ko rin that you were part of the list. Kasi nga, like, from the start of Queentuhan, ikaw yung isa sa pinaka-active. And ang dami mong sinend na question. So, na-excite talaga ako to have you here. Relax ka na.
Hinga.
Umiyak pa rin po.
Hinga lang.
Mama Gerald, huwag kang mag-alala. Hindi ka namin mamadaliin. Huwag kang mag-alala.
Yeah.
Ayan, Mama. Okay lang yan. Ay, ang cute naman ng bata sa likod niya.
Hello!
Sige, Mama Gerald.
Hello.
Pag ready ka na, tell us about yourself na. Like, what do you do? All of that. Paano ka napadpad dito sa Queendom? Ayan, ganun lang.
Ayan, so, I'm Gerald Pacaon. Ayan, you can follow me. Ayan, dito sa aking mga Instagram. And I'm 24 years old. Tapos, bakit ako napadpad sa Queendom? Dahil, lagi akong nakasi first sa page ni Pia Words Back. So, lahat ng mga pictures niya, updates niya, lagi ko nakikita. So, nung nakita ko yung podcast nyo, right away, nag-join ako because Pianatics din talaga ako since 2015.
Oh. Grabe, ang tagal na.
Talagang OG, Pianatic. Go.
Thank you
Actually,
so much,
sobrang
Gerald.
ang ganda ng mga questions. I think you sent more than 10. So, ano yung gusto mong tanong?
Sorry, medyo choppy po kayo.
Okay lang.
Yan,
Okay lang.
Tanong lang. Go.
Virtual hug
Ano yung
muna.
mga tanong mo? First question.
Oh, thank you, Pia.
Aww.
Aww.
Lapit ka, lapit ka. Lapit ka dito.
Pipicturean ko to. Wait. Go.
Lapit ka na.
Lapit ka!
Lapit ka na. Picture mo na.
Thank you.
Ayan.
Sobrang thank you po. Thank you.
Okay lang. Huwag kang mag-alala. Hindi ka namin mamadaliin. Kahit na nagkaroon ng problema yung net mo. Okay lang yan. Nangyayari din sa amin yan.
Yes. Kanina lang.
Ay, sana Pia makita kita soon. Kayo pong lahat. Sana makita ko kayo soon.
Ay, nako.
After this
Sana
pandemic.
magkaroon nga tayo ng as soon as this pandemic is over or when things go back to normal, definitely we'll have a Queendom get-together.
Ay, grabe yung
Oh, yes. Masaya yun.
Let's do that. So, yan.
Masaya yun. We'll do that. That's an idea.
Okay. Ayan.
Okay, game. Let's start.
Game. Sige, Mama. Ready ka na? Okay. Question.
Yes.
Ano question mo?
Number one, ano yung na-realize and natutunan nyo this pandemic?
Wow, marami yan.
Oo nga. For me, I learned a lot of things like that I can do online na kasi parang for 5 years, sobrang busy ko sa sportscasting. So given na ang tagal na wala ng sports, I really had to learn new things. So yon parang more of doing things digitally and creating content like Queentuhan. Tapos, ano pa ba? Yung gaming stream ko. And then I guess like na-realize ko that I didn't have enough time with my family. So natutuwa ako na hindi naging ganun ka-busy. And obviously, magkasama kami dito sa bahay. So parang natutuwa ako because I can mindfully spend quality time with my parents. Yeah.
That's definitely one of the,
Same.
tama, no? Like, spending time with family. And, siguro with me naman, things that I've learned, well, a lot of housework. Sorry. I mean, I have to say, na, dati ang dami kasing excuses eh. Parang, may work pa kasi ako today, tsaka na yan.
Yeah.
Alam mo yung mga ganun. Pero now that you're like, kind of like stuck at home all the time, you see all the things that you have to do pala in the house constantly, that you have to mind all the time. Also, I guess more taking care also of my state of mind, my mental well-being, has been something that I've learned during this pandemic. Important talaga yun to try to kind of spend time with yourself, be quiet for a moment and reflect. I think it's hard to do, but I think it's a good practice to start, especially now. And finally, siguro, the number one thing I learned is just don't take the people you love for granted. You never know na hindi mo na pa sila makakasama physically pala. Alam mo yung mga kaibigan mo na, hindi, sige, makikita ko naman sila next week. Ay, sige, tsaka na, tatamad pa ako. Tapos biglang, wow, wala na. Like, lockdown na, hindi mo sila makikita. You haven't been with, a lot of family members also for a long time. So, I just learned to appreciate, being with your friends and your family physically. Hindi, I mean, asaya na may ganito that we can do it online. Pero iba talaga pag, physically nandyan sila for you.
Yeah. Ikaw, P.
I think it's the same for me. Parang I learned to appreciate the little things. I I don't take things for granted anymore, or at least I realized that you can't take things for granted anymore. Like being able to walk outside, being able to be out with people and touch people and dine with them and sit with them and touch them and talk to them and actually see them and hug them and share a coffee with them. All of these little things that we used to take for granted. Kahit yung being stuck in traffic lang. Dati, hassle na hassle tayo na, ano ba yan? Tagal-tagal ko dito sa traffic. Pero, parang, ngayon wala na. Alam mo yun, parang,
Yeah.
maybe before we used to take things for granted or we used to complain a lot, but then now parang I appreciate the simple things now.
Agree.
So that's
Sobrang
what I
na-feel ko
learned.
yun.
Among other things, so many things actually, but that's one big thing.
Ikaw, ma.
Ayan na. Hello.
Ayan.
Yes.
You're good.
Ayan.
Can I just say,
Yeah.
parang ganda ng skin routine mo. Ang glowing ng skin mo.
Okay, glass
Oh.
skin.
Glass skin.
Pahaw. Anyway, sorry. Go. Sorry.
Ayan. So, di ko alam kung narinig niyo po. Pero question number 2 ko is, kunyari may chance pa na i-represent nyo ang Philippines sa beauty pageant, saang beauty pageant nyo gusto mag-join at bakit?
Oh.
Nahirapan niyo yung Mahirap ba? Ako hands down kasi out of all of the pageants that I joined, the crown that I really, really wanted was Miss World. So, bakit? I just felt like I was most fit for it. I don't know. Kasi parang dahil may factor yung pagiging sporty, parang they really look at you being able to do a lot of things. And I felt like parang ang dami kong ginagawa and parang pasok ako dun sa criteria nila. So I really wanted an opportunity to represent for Miss World.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I think I would, I'm not sure. I hear, okay, ang daming beses na nagsasabi sa akin yung mga tao na I should join Miss World kasi doon daw talaga ako pasok, blah, 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 blah. And siguro in a way, I'm very curious if I did join Miss World, if ano ba yung mangyayari sa akin doon. But to be honest, of course, Miss Universe talaga. Like, why am I kidding? If I had the chance, I would really want to try to join Miss Universe again and hopefully try to, represent the Philippines in Miss Universe. But, move on na rin ako sa dream kong yan. Alam ko hindi siya para sa akin eh. Iba yung para sa akin, kaya okay lang. Okay lang.
Ikaw, P. Si P na lahat eh. Hindi, joke lang.
Well. Out of all the one I'm honest to ha.
Yeah.
International. Shocking ba? Na-shock ba kayo? Kala yung world. Pero hindi, international. Kasi, yun yung sinasabi sa akin from the very beginning na bagay sa akin. Bago ko nag-aim for universe. Hindi sa international ka, bagay ka sa international, doon ka. So actually, I believed it for time. And I actually was like, oh, like I don't mind learning, the Japanese culture, learning about what they like. They like the doll face kind of look. Na medyo Barbie, medyo cute, sexy pero sweet, sexy pero hindi bababoom sexy. And then, ewan ko, parang I observe it and I've seen so many of my friends now that competed. Sila Bea Santiago, si Mar, and I just kind of observed from afar, and then I thought to myself, kaya ko kaya yun? Like, I wonder if I could, because I also watched Miss International live when we watched Marian compete. So, I would, syempre, iniisip ko din kung ano yung feeling ng I wore your sash, by the way, Mar, one time.
You did?
Yeah,
No,
you left it. You left it in our room.
I remember this. I remember that.
I wore it, and then I danced. Big booty, you got a big booty. So I danced that song while I was wearing it. But then I immediately said, I'm never gonna post this because
No, but you know what? I feel like you were pegged for Miss International nung first binibini mo. Because I remember, bumisita ako sa Q&A training ng batch nyo. Bumisita ako sa Pasig nun eh.
oh.
Remember? And then I
Yes,
said like,
yes.
yung isa like parang she was an artista, ganyan. And I remember showing my mom your photo, yung photo shoot mo pa na naka-blue gown ka. Tapos sabi ko, maganda siya, pang Miss International. Yun rin yung yun rin yung tingin ko. The very first time I saw you like in a pageant setting. So gets naman.
It's the
But
face.
But then you have to tame the crazy if you want to become Miss International, right? You gotta tame the crazy. And there's so much crazy. I don't think it cannot be tamed.
I don't think I tamed the crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Up until now.
Interesting.
Hindi ko pa
Interesting.
nasasayin.
I like that question.
Yeah, it's interesting. Thank you, Mama Gerald.
Thank you.
Actually, parang lahat kayo is swak sa international. If ako naman yung bibigyan ng chance, gusto ko si Carla for Miss International, Bianca for Miss Earth, tapos Pia talaga is pang Miss Universe.
Ay,
Interesting. Pero malaki yung mukha ko. My face is so big.
gusto
For
parang
diba?
bakit?
They always say like maliit yung mukha sa international.
Pero
At least
nakikita ko
sabi
yun.
mo.
I see it now,
My face is
Carla.
not.
I see it now.
Totoo.
Well, I
see it.
wouldn't
I see
mind because I
it.
love Japan. I mean, I love Japanese culture. I wouldn't mind either. That would be my next choice, actually.
Yeah.
Tama.
Kasi alam kong
Good to hear.
hindi ko carry yung Miss You. So, Miss I and Miss Pearl.
Hindi ko din carry yung Miss You, pero putya, nandyan eh. Try natin.
Tayo,
Go!
hindi, carry mo. Ako parang feeling ko masyado akong mayunhin. Mayunhin. Oh, anyway.
And so,
Pahamor ka pa.
question number 3.
Ayan, question number 3.
Ano ang disadvantages and advantages being a public figure or a beauty queen holder or title holder?
Ako, ang advantage ko, it gave me a platform, which is like which was one of my biggest goals naman upon entering pageantry. So it really helped me. Not gonna lie, like when it comes to applying for jobs, parang nakakatulong na, beauty queen siya. Disadvantage, people are just more critical. So parang for the longest time, I felt like sobrang filtered, and parang lagi akong conscious, ano sasabihin ng mga tao, Parang ayoko mag-express ng mga strong opinions kasi natatakot ako kasi feeling ko nagpa-pageant pa rin ako even years after. Ayun.
Totoo. Advantages of being a beauty queen. Like Carla said, definitely when it comes to job hunting, it's a plus talaga. And of course, the platform and people, listening to you and, actually wanting to know what you have to say about an issue. But flip side, especially nung time ko, mga beauty queens, medyo dapat may prescribed, ang tawag doon, parang kailangan ganito yung sabihin mo. Kailangan diplomatic ka. Kailangan you have to please both sides. You can't be extreme.
Yeah.
You can't be on one side or the other. So, yun yung parang naging disadvantage ko at the time. Kasi ako, honestly, very opinionated ako about certain issues. Alam nung dalawang to, medyo may nangaaway na ako ng tao. Like, to that point.
Yep.
Ganun.
Yep.
So, because of, I guess, so parang, I had to tame that. I had to tame that when I was, when I was put in that position. Which I think, of course, it's something you do have to tame. But I think I tamed it too much to the point na hindi ko nakilala sarili ko or hindi nakilala ng mga tao kung sino ako at kung ano yung what I stand for and what I think about things. So,
Yeah.
advantage, disadvantage. Pero kaya nga, parang taking it back, I'm taking back that power now na I want to talk about, maybe a little bit of controversial issues and say what my stand is in certain areas. Kasi, again, buti na lang, yun na yung gusto ng mga tao. That's what people ask for from beauty queens now.
Yeah.
They want us to make a stand.
Ikaw, P.
Big advantage is nagiging confident ka as a person. Iba yung matututunan mo, magbabago ka talaga, maging ibang babae ka, kasi sobrang improved ka na. Lahat ng mga natutunan mo in the pageant, you bring it with you in your life, even after the competition. Ano ka na, yung forever ng, you're a lady now. Alam mo, you learn, and then you learn how to carry yourself, and that applies throughout your whole life. So, confidence, but the disadvantage is proving that you are more than a beauty queen. That's one more thing, like to prove. Kasi, syempre, hindi naman, let's be honest, not all people think beauty queen, ano yan, beauty and brain, celebrated, ganyan. Syempre, there's still people out there who kind of think of beauty queens as just being, just pretty girls who are on stage and who don't really have much going on or much to say. Unfortunately, there's still people who believe that. And then, so when you introduce yourself to an audience or a crowd or people na hindi naman pageant fans, minsan hindi advantage yung beauty queen card eh.
Dapat all,
Yeah.
totoo yan.
Ibang bansa din, hindi yung parang, I was a Miss Universe from 2015. Parang, they're not gonna honestly, they're not gonna get it. Yung alam mo yon, they're not gonna get it. So then you have to prove that I am that, but I'm actually am also a lot of things. So proving that you are more, or
Yeah.
yeah, you are more than a beauty queen. That's a challenge to me. Hanggang ngayon and I think I think a lot of girls will relate to that. Na parang lalo na pag bumalik sila sa professional or corporate
Yes.
world, di ba? Yung parang from a pageant. How do you, I mean, I don't, kunyari na lang ha, kunyari. Kasi nakita ko may nag-mention kay Attorney Patch. I don't know her personal experience, but then sometimes I feel like it's so admirable that she's an attorney and that she finished law and then that she's practicing all of that. But then I wonder how that plays out in her real life, in her professional life. Is it an advantage, or do people sometimes think na baka beauty pageant question lang yung kaya niya sagutin? Of course, that's not what I think. And, I love Pat. But, syempre, naiisip ko yun, not just for her, but all the girls, na parang, hindi ba, parang ang hirap magpakilala ulit, no? Alam mo
Yeah.
yun?
Yeah.
So,
I get
yun
what
lang.
you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, I love the point that you brought up, P. Kasi sobrang totoo yan. And yeah, we are pageant fanatics. Lahat tayo mahilig tayo sa pageants. And we recognize, the hard work that the girls go through. But that's not true for all people. Yeah, there are people who think that pageant girls are stupid, that pageant girls are just there for men, politicians. I mean, natin, there is that world where the pageant girls are thought of as just eye candy. And yeah, we have to fight that stigma all the time. And even not just from other people, even feminists. Grabe din yung mga feminists, like the hardcore feminists. And again, I super understand where they're coming from, but again, the world is not so black and white also, diba? So,
Yeah.
we gotta find that middle ground. And again, naglalagay na naman tayo ng label eh. Beauty queen. So beauty queen, ganito, ganito, ganito. Tama na yan! Beauty queen can be a lot of
Yeah.
things. It doesn't
Yeah.
have, why are we so stuck on the label? Let's let go of that. So, ayun. Grabe, thanks, Gerald. Napaisip ako dun Wow.
Thank you
I
for
love
the questions. Thank you so much for joining us. Sobrang happy namin na nakausap ka na namin. Well, this is as close to face as we can get.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank
And
you.
salamat.
Ayan pa rin yung
Thank you. Sana makita
napicturean ko yung
soon
kanina.
ulit.
Wait lang. Ayan.
Yun po.
Ulit.
Gusto kong pasalamat dun sa sa pinsan ko syempre. Ayan, nakadito siya para i-guide ako. Tapos sa lahat, yun, thank you. Tapos sa mga nag-support, sa mga nanonood, thank you po. Ayan, alam ko marami nag-chat sa akin, pero sorry talaga sa internet connection. Iba talaga ang Philippines! Ayun, so maraming salamat, Queendom, and
Thank
Queendom Queentuhan, hindi ko po kayo, hindi magsasawa talaga.
Thank you.
Solid.
Thank you so much. We will see you in the Facebook group.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I love you po.
Thank you. I love you.
We love you. And then now we're gonna bring up Red Beltran. So our grand
Just
finale.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, tell us a bit about yourself.
So my name is John Ronald Beltran, and you can call me Red. I'm 18 years old, and I'm currently taking up culinary arts in college.
Oh, parang si P.
Yeah.
So, now, no, joke lang.
So, wow, Gerald. So, how did you find out about Queentuhan and the Queendom?
I found it out through Pia's post because I saw that there's this Queentuhan thing going on, and then I was like, oh, let me check it out. And then I saw that there's two other people involved pala that are beauty queens too. So I was like, smart.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for being part of the Queendom.
Oh, thank you. CP will be back. Will pop back in a few. Pero we can go. We
PRP.
can, kami
Yeah,
na muna
go ahead.
yung sasagot sa first question. And then I'm sure by the time
Okay.
na, siya na siya.
Mabalik na siya.
Yep. So my first question is, what is the best country you've been on a vacation to, and one lesson you've learned in that country that could be applied in the Philippines?
Oh. Okay.
I'm just gonna answer like quick. The first thing that comes to mind. One of my favorite countries is Japan. Yun yung binabalik-balikan ko talaga. First time ko to go to Japan was when I watched Bianca compete.
Oh,
Tapos since then, like I just kept going back. And one thing that really stood out to me was that they don't really have trash bins sa streets. Did you notice that? But it's so clean, and that's because
It's okay.
everyone's so disciplined. So I'm like,
Yeah.
whenever I'm holding food, because you know I'm always holding food, parang hindi ko alam kung saan nalagay. Well, then it's simple, di ba? Pero parang I feel like it's not applied enough yung pagiging disiplina pagkakaroon ng disiplina when it comes to keeping our surroundings neat, I guess. So that was the
That's
first thing
true.
that came to mind. The overall
Actually,
discipline.
exactly, discipline. It's like the
Yeah.
discipline when no one is looking. Yun.
Yeah.
Sila,
Actually, not even with the trash eh. Sobrang disiplina nila. I think kasi parang yung first until grade 2, I don't know if this is still applicable or if it's true, but I read na parang they teach values muna.
tama.
So like the kids clean the schools. Parang yung ano lang, like acting together as a community, being disciplined so that everything works better. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, I heard that. Now, wala, I mean, yeah, a little bit of, work, but studies talaga, pero it's really about honing skills, community values, and all of that. That's super
Yeah.
cute. Yeah. Ako naman, siguro, honestly, Hong Kong is one of me and my fiance's favorite place to go to. We used to go there all the time before, everything that's going on there now in terms of them fighting for their freedom and their democracy. And sorry, I don't know if it's gonna like cause some stirrings. I don't know, but honestly, I love Hong Kong. It's such an international place. You have everything there. The people are also very nice. One of the things that I think we could learn from them, maybe, I don't know. I like how they're fighting for what's right now. I like how they're really pushing for their freedom, their democracy, even though they're fighting a huge like monster, but a huge entity. But they know what they want. They know what their rights are, and they're fighting for it. And I think every nation can learn from that. Fight for what's right. Fight for freedom. There.
really.
Ikaw, P, did you get the question, by the way?
And Biata.
The question is, what is the best country you've been to for vacation, and one lesson you learned in that country that can be applied in the Philippines?
Okay. Let me test first. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes,
Yes.
we can
Yeah.
hear you. You're good.
You
Okay.
good.
Okay. Because I can't hear you guys, but as long as you can hear me. Okay, sige. Ano, I can hear you, but choppy. Pero at
Yeah.
least naririnig
Okay.
niyo ako. Okay. Hi, Reg. So, I'm sorry. I keep like disappearing and appearing. So, I'm sorry. Nadidisconnect ako. One thing, I can't pinpoint like a specific place right now because there are a lot of kasi like one place I love something about that place, and then another place I also love something about that place. So parang one thing I learned na lang with like the places I've been to and the travels is that there are so many, like we don't have to lose the culture to make it
International.
to make it international, to make it more attractive to tourism. Kasi sometimes you feel like, oh, para maging develop na yung island na to, lagyan natin ng mga ganito ganyan. Pero ang nangyayari, you kill the culture in that place, you kill the yung pagka-raw niya, yung pagka-natural niya. Alam mo yun, people are going there because of what it has to offer. So why would you try to put in so many things that make it look like a city, like a metropolitan. So, yun ang na-realize ko, like, parang let's keep things the way they are in the Philippines, and then let its natural beauty attract tourism instead of us trying to develop it so much where it just looks
Like
kind of
any other place.
manufactured,
Yeah.
you know?
Sobrang
So yun,
word.
I love
yeah.
that.
So yun ang na-realize ko. Kasi kunyari na lang, example, sa Vietnam, merong place sa Vietnam, yung Hoi An, it's it's side streets that still look like you're in parang it looks like you've time traveled because they preserved everything. And then they do sell a lot of mga souvenirs, but it still doesn't feel like completely touristy, like commercial. And then puro
Yeah.
lakad walang mga kotse, puro lakad at puro bike. And I'm thinking, alam mo sa Philippines, walang masyadong ganito kasi ayaw nating masyadong maglakad. Ayaw nating masyadong mainitan, ayaw nating mahasel. Alam mo yun, pero minsan nandun yung beauty na parang, di, walang kotse dito, walang mga motor, bike lang, bike. So parang isipin mo na, it doesn't mean just because there are no cars, doesn't mean it's not developed and it can't have that charm. You know what I mean? So anyway, I could go on and on about it, but that's one example.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
for
for that
that
wonderful
question.
question.
My next
As
question is, what are advocacies that you wish candidates would advocate more of?
Okay. Ako, honestly, medyo natira ako dati for this thinking of mine. Kasi they kept saying, no, you have to think of one advocacy. Think of one advocacy. Kasi kung hindi kalat ka. Pero honestly, my message that I wanted to tell everyone is not to go for this advocacy because I think this advocacy is the most important advocacy ever, or I think this is the right advocacy to choose. No. What I wanted to talk about or advocate is just choosing an advocacy, any advocacy that's close to your heart, that you really believe in, that you're really passionate about, and really put action in it. So can you imagine if every single person in the world just chose one advocacy and really did something about that advocacy? Grabe na yung movement na mangyayari. So in terms of that question, I don't care which advocacy, just pick one and then really help. And find your passion talaga. And I'm sure there is. I really believe there's an advocacy for everyone because everyone cares about something and there's something important for everyone. So,
Agree. That's my answer also. And it's nice that it's pretty much, I mean, compared to 5 years ago, 5 years ba, when we joined, 6 years ago, hindi pa kasi masyadong ini-emphasize yung advocacy. I mean, it's great if you have one, pero parang hindi siya like requirement. But now, they really provide the tools for you to discover maybe hindi ka pa aware what you're passionate about. So I like that organizations are making that move to allow you to explore and to really figure out what causes you want to fight for. So it's not really a matter of, I guess, like what specific advocacy I would want to see more of. Kasi ako personally, I'm an athlete, so I love that, like people like Michelle Gumaba or advocating for sports. It's really more of, yun nga, like just having one thing that you really want to help out on. P? P?
I think Shopee pa tayo sa kanya.
Yeah,
Go na.
okay, sorry. There's a delay. Okay, I wish siguro some girls wouldn't, or girls who are still deciding on what kind of advocacy they wanna go for or they wanna push for. Wag silang matakot sa mga advocacies that make it look sad. Like when we had Kylie Versosa a few episodes ago, she said that nung una niyang minention yung mental health na advocacy niya, yung unang reaction daw sa kanya is, sure ka ba? Kasi di ba parang ang lungkot naman ng advocacy mo, parang ang nega, ganon. Pero, what's the point then of the whole advocacy? something, right?
Pati pa
Di
naman
ba?
yun, kailangan,
Yeah.
like, it has to be a certain thing. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Like, don't be afraid that parang, ay, masyado kasing malungkot.
Yeah.
What if yun ang relate sa'yo eh? Tapos yun yung gusto mo. Di ba?
Yeah.
Like, mental health is an example. What about, I'm just saying, breast cancer? Tapos
Yes.
sabihin mo na, kunyari lang, like, you know somebody, you're close to somebody, or maybe you survived it. And then, pero iniiwasan mo kasi ayaw mo yung nega, ganyan. Pero hindi eh. Oh,
Yeah.
kaya mo yan! Dapat ganon lang attitude lang lagi. Kaya mo yan.
Correct.
Tama. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, tama yan. Like, ako, honestly, girls, I think are scared of choosing children who've gone through sexual abuse. It's a bit dark, right? But it's such a huge thing in our country. Children suffering from sexual abuse in our country, it's, especially now during the pandemic, it's so high. Pero a lot of girls don't want to touch that kasi nga, it's sad. It's dark. Di maganda
Kasi
tingnan. But so,
iniisip pa rin siya in a branding sense eh. Pero,
yeah.
if authentically that's what you wanna go for, just go for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tama. But yeah, good point, P.
Okay.
So,
Question.
my last question would be: Can you name any game that you play and love that you've learned a valuable lesson from, which can be applied in our life?
Candy Crush, joke lang. So, ako, badminton, obviously, because I played it all my life. So I was a student athlete from when I was 9 years old up to when I graduated college at 22. Sobrang laking bagay kasi hanggang ngayon, nadadala ko pa rin yung mga values na natutunan ko. It made me very disciplined. It made me super determined. Competitive ako, like I always want to win. So even in real life, like I just always want to give my all. Parang nasa court pa rin ako competing, trying to get that win. And yun nga, yung disiplina, I guess, and prioritizing. Kasi hindi rin madali mag-balance ng schoolwork and ng training. So, yeah. For me, the game is badminton. Tama ba yung sagot ko? Or is this like video game? Kasi COD lang yung nilalaro ko. Tapos competitive rin naman ako to.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I didn't catch the question. Sorry. I was like, wait, what?
Name a game that you play and love that you've learned a valuable lesson from, which can be applied in your life.
Wait, any game? Any game?
Any game.
Any
Any
game.
game.
Bakit? Gamer ka kasi, Reg? Kaya tatanong mo?
No naman. I just wanted to ask that question.
Yeah.
Game? Anong game? Oh my god. Wait, okay. First,
Golf.
I guess gamer ako in the sense na I have a Switch. Right now, I'm playing Harry Potter. Yung Lego Harry Potter. Anyways, I guess in general, ano ba? Well, in general, yeah, games kind of like, I'm on my phone a lot in terms of mobile games. Mahilig ako sa mga time management games. I guess because I stuck at time management in real life. I feel like if I do it in the game, it can translate into my real life. But does it really so much? But in my head, I think it does. It's a joke lang. But yeah, I guess, yeah, time management games, I love it. Kasi it's about, like Carla said, prioritizing, discipline, kind of like, things that you have to do and you have to arrange it in your mind now. Okay, ano yung step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I have to do to get this outcome? Na, wala, life is really like that. I mean, we go into school and we think it's all about the grades and having the best grades and all of that. Pero now that I look back, it's hindi nga yung grades eh. It's really just the discipline of doing what you have to do, figuring out how to get the work done or getting your paper done or all of that stuff. Those are the things that are important when you come into real life. Like wherever you go to, whatever work you have, it's really discipline, time management, and thing that you can't get from a game is working well with others. Interacting well with others, which is really one of the top things that you have to do in life as well.
Ikaw, P.
one game that I really love and I still love is Sims. I love playing The Sims.
Guys, I use her
And
account. She has all the expansion packs.
oo, yung
Masaya
mga
ang Sims.
expansion pa, masaya talaga. Pero there are many times where hindi ko matiis and I cheat. So I put in yung motherload na cheat, yung rosebud na cheat. Motherload like times 100 para naman mabili na nung sim ko lahat ng gusto niya. And this sounds cheesy, but then nawawalan ako ng gana pagka yung pwede mo nang bilhin lahat.
Totoo.
Kasi parang wala na eh.
Totoo.
Wala nang problema yung SIM mo, may mga cheat code ka na. Tapos, parang, wala nang goal, di ba? So, parang minsan naiisip ko na, hindi pala masaya, no, pagka nakukuha mo lahat ng gusto mo. Ay, na-connect ko pa rin sa lesson.
Dahil from Sims to Filipino I love it. Bigyan ng ano.
And I thank you.
Thank you so much, Reg. Napaisip kami sa mga questions mo. Parang they were,
Totoo yan.
nagduda ako na parang, tama ba yung sinagot ko?
I realized about pageant girls, ano tayo, hirap tayo to end a question. Like,
Yeah.
diba? How to
Yeah.
end the answer. How to end the answer to the question. Sorry. Like, thank you. Yun na lang eh.
Yeah,
Yun na lang.
that question.
Thank you. Ganun na lang. Sorry. But yeah, thank you, Reg, so much for coming on and asking all these wonderful questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Reg.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
That's all the time we have. I wish we could
Wow.
have more of our Queendom on the show. And maybe, you know what, we'll definitely do this again. You know, like,
Oh.
Yes, it's so fun.
yeah, that is my lesson for today. Like, we need more of these episodes talaga.
We
So,
do.
yeah, don't worry. Like, this will happen again. And to our guests for today, thank you so much for making time to join us and for having this really fun Queentuhan. Guys, any last reminders, messages?
Meron ba? Well, yes, of course. Sorry. Of course. Oh, sorry. Duman yung aso. Anyways, please listen to us on Spotify. We are a podcast first and foremost. We do have a lot of episodes even from our season 1. So if you haven't been able to, listen to us or watch our season 1, go ahead. It's actually on Spotify. It is on the Tripod Network Facebook page, and it's also on Pia Words Facts YouTube channel. So check me out for a season namin, and now we're about to end our second season soon. So grabe, I can't believe patapos na rin yung second season natin.
Really going to end though.
Is it?
Parang baka mamaya umabot tayo episode 100. We never know. Ikaw, P, any last messages?
Thank you guys for doing this episode with us. Again, please follow us in the Queendom sa Queentuhan Facebook group namin, and also follow us on Instagram as well, Queentuhan Pod. And don't forget to give us a follow, please. It will make us so happy. Give us a follow on Spotify, please.
And listen to the episodes. Thank you. Okay, Mar is getting married before our next episode. So Mar, we're so excited for you, and congratulations in advance because
Congratulations, Mar.
sobrang
Thank you,
excited.
guys.
Kingdom,
Thank
send her messages of love for our bride to be. All right,
Kaya white na ako.
ay, ready ka na. Yan na pala yun. Joke lang. Yeah, okay, there you go. That wraps up our special episode of Queentuhan. Again, thank you so much, and we will see you next Tuesday for another episode of Queentuhan.
Queentuhan.